How does the coroner's office classify homicides? Have you ever wondered how coroners determine the manner of death in homicide cases? It's a complex process, but let's break it down. When a death occurs, the coroner's office is responsible for classifying the manner of death. This classification is crucial for legal and statistical purposes. The coroner or medical examiner uses several categories to classify deaths: natural, accident, suicide, homicide, undetermined, and pending. For a death to be classified as a homicide, it must result from a volitional act committed by another person. This doesn't necessarily mean there was intent to cause death, but rather that the act was intentional and caused harm or death. For example, if someone plays a game of Russian roulette with another person and it results in death, it's still considered a homicide because the act was intentional, even if the intent wasn't to kill. The coroner's office relies on various pieces of information to make this classification. They consider the circumstances surrounding the death, including any evidence from the crime scene, autopsy results, and witness statements. The degree of certainty required to classify a death as a homicide can vary, but it often needs to be based on clear and convincing evidence. In the United States, coroners and medical examiners work closely with law enforcement to ensure accurate reporting. For instance, the National Vital Statistics System, SS, and the Supplementary Homicide Reports, SHR, both collect data on homicides, but they categorize them slightly differently. The NVSS uses the International Classification of Diseases, CD system, which classifies homicides into two general categories: homicide or legal intervention. The SHR, on the other hand, categorizes homicides as intentional, justifiable, or negligent. The process involves detailed reporting. For example, the SHR form includes sections for all murders and non-negligent manslaughters, as well as negligent manslaughters. It captures information such as the jurisdiction, month, year, victim and offender demographic characteristics, weapon used, and the circumstances surrounding the incident. In summary, classifying a death as a homicide involves a thorough investigation, collaboration with law enforcement, and adherence to strict classification guidelines. This ensures that the manner of death is accurately determined and reported.